Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Armor Girls Project, or AGP. We have the MS Girl Gundam Mark II. And this is the AEUG version. Or you should just call it AEUG. It's either this or the Titans. And which we have the Titans early on, which can be converted into a Barzam, which is really nice. So here we go. So for this MS Girl, it actually has that full armor, which we've recently got the full armor Mark II robot Damashi. So it's really nice. I like it. So here we go. We get a variety of faces, as we can see here in the windowed box. Quite nice. On the back side here, we got a lot of awesome action poses, which I will try to attempt. It's gonna be hard to put them in certain poses because, well, I've handled the AGP before, and they're kind of a little bit more finicky, having a smaller frame and just a lot of parts. So it'll be a lot to manage. Also, this is an exclusive. Here we go. This will retail about over $100. Got mine from Nippon-Yassan, that's why I'm getting it a little earlier. Yeah, it's just too expensive. But if you like the design, you like AGP MS Girls, here we go. So that's pretty much it for a quick overview of the box. Really not much onto the sides here. But just for curiosity, here we go. I don't think the price is listed here, but it is over $100. Anyways, let's take a look inside. Alright, so we have the MS Girl here. Quite nice. And this is just amazing. I really like the design on this one. Well, for the most part, it's pretty much the same as the, well, close likeness to the Titans version. They are basically identical, but it's different. We have a blue here this time. I guess in some sense that we can have our Ram and Rem. For those who are not sure of that reference, RE0, it's an anime. But yeah, quite a nice. So I'm gonna go over a quick articulation. Let's just get it out of the way. So this is without the full armor, because once we put that on, it's gonna be a little bit more limited, and might do a little bit more articulation then. But anyways, so here we have the neck. It is on a ball joint there, as we can see. We can move left to right, no problem. Then on the back side here, I actually replaced the backpack with this smaller one. We'll swap it out later on. The shoulder armor are connected on the back side, so that's quite nice. Shoulder articulation, you have that ball joint as well. Fairly good. There is no bicep swivel. I don't think we need that. You do have a elbow swivel there, so that's fairly good. You got your wrist articulation here. And for the torso, you got a little bit, but not so much. There is some there, but it's a little, yeah, it just doesn't move as much, so I'm not gonna force it. And since there's a lot of armors, what do you call this? The skirt on the side is connected on the back side, right there. Nice details. And as always, some people, just some, are kind of offended that she's wearing panties. It's part of the design. In some ways, just think of it as a swimsuit. Yeah, but they always make them very sexy. Yeah, hence the appeal for the MS Girl. But the side skirt kind of goes over in front like this. Yeah, actually quite nice. There's also like this metallic paint here. It's like a trim on her leggings, which is nice as well. And I kind of forgot to mention all the decals that comes with this. So it's kind of like that Verka, where just there's so many decals on it. A lot of good details. Yep. So moving on for the waist. Actually, we'll just move that up here. Move out of the way. There we go. We get the knee bend right there. It's actually seems like it's double jointed. So there's a ball joint right on top. Then there's another kind of like a hinge underneath. interesting. There is no tie swivel. This thing is kind of molded in with that flush part right there, and it kind of looks weird if she's having that knee up right there, because the skirt kind of goes away like this. But that's alright. So fairly good knee bend right there. Then you have your ankle articulation here. The piston is not connected, but you got this shin guards right there. Yeah, ball joint here. Yeah, fairly good. I don't think there's any kind of articulation here on the toes, but yeah, I mean, overall it's great. Actually, it would be nice if this actually bends and we see a little bit more, but just looking at the part separation there, that's really nice on the detail. So that's pretty much it for the articulation. Now moving on, let's go with the different faces. As we see in the open box, we got this. You also have this one. I just want to try this out. So I think you pop this out here on top. I should have looked at the instruction, which I have not, so I'm kind of guessing where things goes. So far I have fairly good guesses. Pop this out here. I think this side panel also pops out. Right, so let's push this on there. Here we go. Put this on. I'm actually glad that they added this particular face. I always like that. There we go. Just crying. Quite nice. Alright, so other than that, we also have this face here with a open mouth. Kind of happy, or could be shouting. Either way, it's kind of hard to... Well, probably with the eyebrows right there, suggesting just happy. Otherwise, we have this alternate one. And this one has the Titan's color. So definitely we can swap out her different faces on that the Titan's version. I can't quite remember if that one has the white that we can swap out for this. I have to check. But yeah, it's quite nice. Also want to point out that there's that twirl. They usually have it on front, like something with lick. I forgot what the term is that, but it's onto that side. They always have to have that to make them cute. Anyways, let me swap out the face back and continue with the review. Alright, so for accessories, or let's start going through them. There's quite a bit. So let's first start with the beam saber hilts. You got this here right here. There's a tab there which you can attach here. More than likely I'm not gonna use this, but there are beam effect parts later on. But for now, I'm just gonna put it here where they're supposed to. Just bear with me. There we go. That's for that. But otherwise, should have let's take this out because we're not gonna use this particular backpack. We're gonna pop this out. There we go. And we have this one has a bit more. You got the 4 thrusters right there. They're not movable, but this part does. This is just plastic here, the pipes going down. Yep. So let me go ahead and put this on here first. There we go. And we're gonna put it here. But before that, I should have gotten that. The Vulcans on the side, or actually, I think they're more of a sensor. I always forget, but let me get that. Alright, to put this on here, it's a little troublesome sometimes because this tend to pop out, this side part here. So we'll see how this goes. But definitely a lot easier to do this when you have the backpack off. There we go. And put this back on here. Make sure you get that out of the way. And be careful on this antenna right here that we don't snap it or anything of that sort. There we go. There is a mounting point underneath there. I forgot to mention that for the stand. And here we go. I kind of wish it kind of goes outward a little bit more for the beam saber hilts, but it's kind of how it is. And again, it's kind of pushing against that the visor on the side. It's not really a visor because there's nothing in front of her eyes, but you get what I'm talking about. Next part, let's talk about the shield. We got the shield here. Nice decals. We have AG right there. You got your connector part here for the forearm. You can pop this out. Then you have that. You can mount the ammo packs here, or the cartridges. And you can pop this out and you can connect it here for the folded version. Yep. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this back here. I prefer the shield this way anyways. Next part, we have the rifle here. It's your standard rifle, nicely painted with that matte finish. Oh, I got some debris there, but quite nice. You have a movable handle here. This is where we're gonna attach the ammo. There is a peg connection here, which will be useful later on. The scope is not foldable, but that's alright. And yeah, it's quite great. Alright, so while we're at it, I'm gonna put the ammo packs here. We got 3 of them, which is just right. So we got 2 on the shield and 1 for the rifle here. There we go. There we go. Now there is quite a variety of hands as well, which we'll go over a bit. But before that, let's go over the bazooka. There we go. Movable handle. Quite nice. I believe this is detachable as well. But on this set, we only have 1. I think on the bars or the Titans one has a little bit more. Not that we need this. And yeah, we don't really need this since the full armor has the cannons or the double barrel cannons on the arms. They use that more than this, but nicely detailed again. Nice finish. I don't see any decals on this one other than my little scratches here and there. Alright, so next part, this is probably an opportune time to talk about the... I mentioned I am not going to do it, but just for show, we'll do it. Alright, so aside from the closed fist, we have a variety of other hands. We have this kind of like a relaxed hands right here. You get a pair of that. Next up is to hold the beam saber. We got 2 of that as always. Let's just do one here. Let's pop this out. There we go. I'll put this on here. Put this on. Although this one, the fingers are all together, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You gotta just have to force that in. There we go. Okay, so that worked. You have 2 of these, 1 for each beam saber hilts. We're just gonna pop 1 here. There we go. All right, it's quite nice. All right, so moving on. Let's pop this out. If I can, actually, it's best to remove the, that way, if ever it kind of whipped or your finger slipped, you're not gonna break that peg connection. We need this back. Come on. Next week, gotta go the other way. It's stuck. Oh boy. There we go. I hope I'm hoping it doesn't stress the plastic inside. It's a really tight fit in there. Alright, so let's put this back on here. If I can get it aligned. There we go. Now the last pair of hands is the one with the trigger finger, which we'll be using. So likewise, we're gonna put 1 on each hand right here. I've actually played with this a little bit before, and it's not too bad. But yeah, as you put stuff on, just be patient. There is a lot of parts. There's a lot of tiny parts, and yeah. Oh, almost forgot. I think there is this part, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. On the back skirt. This is for the cannon. You can stash right here. So we can definitely, but you have that matte white finish there. I was hoping it doesn't get scratched. I think that's as far as you can get it. Yeah, definitely it will snap in there, but I kind of don't want to do it. But that's another attachment for the bazooka. Alright, so enough of that. Let's start putting on the full armor. Alright, so let's start to put on the armor systematically, because I find that if you go from top to bottom, certain parts just gets in the way of putting the other. I think the best way to start is putting on the forearm, this part here. Now this is basically identical to the left and right. You can put it either way because you have mounting points on both sides here. And let's open this up, put this on here. Now this one, the thumb here, not sure if you guys can see that, but the thumb is separated from the rest of the fingers, which gives you a little bit of leeway to slide this up here. There we go. And you kind of want to have the little part of that trigger underneath, and yeah, it's a little bit separate there, as you can see. Now this kind of tabs in underneath. It's like a little bit of a squeeze to get it in there, and then you just close that in. Then there you go, you got that one side. Alright, so moving on, took the liberty to put the other one there. So we're gonna attach it to the bottom tab. There we go. You could technically put both here, which is gonna be ridiculous, but we want to put it on the other side here. Now, some of you are gonna be asking, is it the same as the full armor for the robot damashi? I checked on it. This is the barrel for that, and it's basically identical. Might be just a slightly off shade of white, just light. It's kind of hard to tell. They're almost the same, but it's the same tab. And if you're wondering, for this is the full armor robot damashi again, it's the same handle. Hence probably why it kind of doesn't sit well for this forearm, but the tab is still there. It's identical. So if you want to have the symmetrical look like the MS Girl, you can put this on to your robot damashi. Yep. Or if you want to have more barrels. There you go. So that's that. Moving on. We also have this kind of like an ammo, probably, I can't quite remember what this pack is, but this goes on the left forearm, and we've seen this on the full armor robot damashi. So if you want to just interchange, there we go, but more than likely you want to do with the double bazooka or double cannon here. Yep. There we go. Alright, so moving on, we could probably put on the leg armor here. Now for the leg armor, there is a tab right there, and it kind of clips on top. It's one of those I'm kind of a bit uneasy because there are decals there and we just don't want to rub against it. But so far, I didn't have much issues yet with that. The paint and the decal are there. Well, what I'm trying to say is it's held quite nicely. They don't rub off just by normal handling. Obviously, if your hands are very greasy, there is a tendency to rub off the paint. So make sure your hands are dry for the most part. Alright, so it just dabs in, and there we go. For this one, and for those who have the full armor robot damashi, or those who have seen that one, it doesn't have that extra armor that goes on to here. Yeah, unfortunately. And actually, it's one of those troublesome things that I've experienced with the robot damashi, because it kind of hindered the whole skirt area. So I don't mind it if this doesn't have that add-on, but definitely they could have attached it there. And some of you are going to be asking, well, can we use those? Actually, yeah, let's give that a try. Alright, so here we go. So this is the side skirt of the robot damashi. And just looking by this, we have a circular peg here, we have a rectangular. It's not gonna work. Yep. But it does seem to fit nicely. Although it kind of diminishes her sexy look. but we're very persistent, and with that I could install magnets, or I could just use blue tack for the time being, because I'm not gonna be sticking this here. I would rather have this on the robot damashi, but whoops, pop this out accidentally. Alright, there we go. And it's possible, I would say. If you do a little bit of modding or add a blue tack there, it's possible to have that as the side skirt. And I think that would actually make it a lot better. And I kind of wish the robot damashi was engineered in this way, that the side skirt kind of overhangs from the backside, or it's attached from the backside, and doesn't, or it gives you a little bit more articulation in that sense, because the one we have is attached in front and everything kind of interlocks with this thing here. And yeah, anyways, I just want to demonstrate that. Alright, so the next part are the shoulder armor here, which we'll just set this down for now. And here we go, we got one on each side. And also this kind of like a shield biter thing that attaches to them. I would suggest to attach this first. This one that doesn't have the big lettering of the FSWS, probably weapon system. So what it says? Full armor Gundam development program. Okay, no, it's something else. He got really like fine print there. This one goes onto the right side, and we'll attach this first. It just goes in. I don't think I have problem with paint chipping, or yeah, it's kind of like the robot damashi version, which is the same way. I was a little reluctant to put or stop that in, but there we go. This one is kind of off, so I have to redo that again. Get it centered. There we go. Alright. Alright, so where was I? I had to change the batteries. Alright, so let's put this on here. Or you just gotta move it to the side and attach this. Now with this thing on, it's gonna be in the way. So I think the best way to do this is just deattach this and put it on like that. This one actually opens up too. So just kind of push that in there. Seems to be holding, and same way on the other side. Now these tabs here, they don't really hold that well. Sometimes they just pop off. I would really like to mod this with magnets. That way it will just snap in. And for the most part, these things are light. This is held by like a really small joint here in the back, but they're light. And I think magnets will just do fine. Right now we're gonna reattach this. Gonna put it on front of the shoulder right there. There we go. And that didn't work well. So I planned it to, popped off. Yeah, I think if they find a better way to, well, there's just really no other way other than having tabs. And just too many of them, or too many equipment for the full armor. I kind of wish they just have a separate piece that snap back here on the ball joint, but I guess that will have its own problems as well. So just make sure it's there all the way. Having that tab there, or that hinge, doesn't really help the situation. It kind of pushes it away like that. Anyways, let me get that resituated and continue to review. And here we go. I have to say, reviewing MS Girls, or pretty much AGP in general, are quite challenging for the amount of accessory comes with, which is nice, but it's one of those that you really want to take your time when you put them on and posting it. Yeah, there's just so many, and a lot of things could just go wrong. But anyways, I got it in there. So again, like I mentioned, it's good to just disassemble certain parts, that way you can put it on quite easily. And this looks awesome. Quite nice. Alright, so before we're almost there, but I want to mention this part here. Most of the MS Girl has this. It's kind of like your extra hand or appendages or whatnot. And this goes on to the back side. Otherwise, we can just attach a stand there, but I kind of want to take advantage of this, and likewise you might have to pop this off again. And let's set that down, push this on here. There we go. Get one of the base, some Tamashi stand here. There we go. So this one, kind of fold that in, push that. It's one of those that the clearance is just right there, and if you're not careful, you're gonna end up damaging it. So put that on first here before you push that in. Even then, I don't think it goes all the way in. Yeah. Anyways, that seems to be working for now. And let me reattach everything again. Alright, here we go. Yeah, you gotta have to play around with it. I have her tilted slightly upward because with that thing on the this thing here on the backpack, it kind of just pushes her head out, and she's just always looking down. And if I have it, you know, I kind of have to move my lamps around, that way we can see the eyes. But there we go. Now this is the great part, because of all this peg connection, now we can mount them and have everything pretty much on her. Oops, that didn't work out. Alright, there we go. We got the bazooka right there, and these are very segmented. There's a lot of points that we can move. Yep, a lot of different poses. You can have the cannon on top like this. Then now we have the pistol onto the side here. There we go. And now for the shield, we have to remove this part here, because this is for the forearm. Now we have to pop this out. There's a little peg connection here. That way we'll have the female part. And that will just peg in like so. Oops. This one, it's free. If you have any other accessories, I was thinking of maybe attaching this, but this is just for the forearm. And there's really nothing else that we can attach there, unless you want to put another hand for the beam saber. I think that will look odd, but we kind of just stash that away or hidden. And there we go. That's pretty much it for the full armor MS Girl Mark II or MS Girl Full Armor Mark II, and it looks amazing. Yep. And yeah, this is the reason why I got into the MS Girl. It's just really cool, like what they have here. Just a lot of details, and very comparable to the robot Tamashi with the accessories. And actually you get more for the MS Girl, and actually it costs a bit more obviously, but definitely well worth picking it up. Yep. So that's it. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna show the Titans version. I have most of the figures. I'm sorry to put them back in the box, just for space reason, as well as dust accumulation. But it's just a little hard to set up the other one, and yeah. But anyway, so that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. Again, I got mine from Nippon-Yassan, but then first you can get this from your local distributor or local stores. It is Bandai, so do expect to pay premium on it. Anyways, that's about it. If you got questions, again, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.